Drink a little more water here. A big area in the industry that you hear about a lot is women drivers. The fact that for so long historically, the industry has had a very small percentage of drivers that are women, and an issue as well, not only with recruiting them, but with retaining the women who do enter the industry. Certainly, this plays into issues of driver availability or fleets that have difficulty attracting enough drivers. The fact that we're essentially recruiting with one hand tied behind our back. And so this is an issue that we really wanted to focus on at Atri and to get a better understanding of what are the challenges that women face. What do those look like, and how can we begin to address them more thoroughly? A big part of this survey, we surveyed men and women so that we could get that nice comparison between them. And we asked, what are the reasons why you became a truck driver? And the interesting thing about this slide is that it's actually pretty similar
Yeah.
between men and women. The men and women who enter the industry have mostly done it for the same reasons. But now keep that fact in mind. So women here are the orangish color and men are the blue color, because I'm going to swap slides ahead. These are the reasons for leaving the industry. And here's where suddenly you see women and men differ significantly. They came in for the same reasons, but they're leaving for very different reasons. For women, the biggest one is family reasons. You can see that's a delta of what, 15 percentage points there. Not enough time at home, right? Which may be family related, but it can be related to other things too. Social, again, work-life balance. That's something we're hearing more from all drivers, but especially pronounced with women. Almost a 20 percentage point delta there. Um, from men, you can see a couple big ones there. Too many government mandates. That's especially from the owner operator, excuse me, side, as you can imagine. And retirement is the biggest one. Um, Now, when we come back to this next item, you see it's again women more than men. Concern over personal safety. Lack of appreciation or respect, that's relatively similar, but harassment or discrimination as well, which is related to that issue of personal safety. Again, you can see women are much more likely to cite that as their reason for leaving the industry. So again, it's one thing to bring women in, but if we can't retain them, then it's just going to go right out the other side. We came at this another way as well. We asked drivers, what problems do you experience daily? We asked them to rank these problems, and then we looked at the percentage of respondents, the percentage of drivers that said that this was a problem for them. So interestingly, you can see those number ranks are actually quite similar between women and men. They've rated the issues as relatively similar, which is a good thing because it means that by addressing any of these issues, you're going to be improving the retention and the job satisfaction of all your drivers. But what's interesting here is that the percentage of women who encounter each of these issues daily is higher for some of the key issues than men. And I've highlighted those in red. So you can see
Mhm.
the black text ones, those are the ones where it's pretty similar, women and men encountering these issues daily. The red ones are where women encounter them much more. So you can see limited access to exercise facilities, right? That's especially important for folks who are out over the road, in sleeper berths, wanting to stay fit and healthy. Limited access to safe parking, again, and then restroom facilities. That's an issue not only for your overnight parking, but for driver detention as well, right?
Mhm.
We found that a pretty significant percentage of facilities do not let drivers use the bathroom. And if you're stuck there waiting for 4, 6 hours, not able to use a restroom. That's it's frankly it's unconscionable, I feel personally.
Absolutely.
But it's a greater issue for women for a couple reasons. Partly for health and hygienic reasons, and partly because women are detained more often than men, by about 10 percentage points more often than men. So they bear the brunt of
Mhm.
some of these industry issues even more than what men do when driving. Again, negative stereotypes is another example of that, where women feel those more keenly. And again, that's partly because there are fewer women drivers. So again, they feel more of the brunt of those negative stereotypes because they've got gendered stereotypes compounding in addition to any other stereotypes that men feel in the industry about driving in general. And then finally, you can see farther down there, harassment or discrimination. This is one of the less common issues, which is why it's towards the bottom of these lists. But again, you can see that women experience this about 10 percentage points more than men do. About 17.5% of women experience that on a daily basis. That's something that we've got to get down, of course. You're
Absolutely.
never going to get these kinds of issues to zero, unfortunately, but we really want to take steps to put them in that direction, and certainly to create an environment where harassment or discrimination is not acceptable, frankly, and especially for women on the road.